bring to the notice of our people gathered in this hall that the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria is at the forefront of safety training and practice. And today we want to inform you that we have started the day 2, and in this program we have various safety tips to give our people. At the rear end of this very magnificent hall, the ISPON hall, that's the entrance door. And towards this front, at my right, we have an exit door. And then towards my left, we have another exit door. And then at the rear end also, towards my right, up and down, we have the female restrooms. And then towards my left, up and down, we have the male restrooms. We have a very well-managed muster point outside the premises. As you come into the hall from the gate, by the right, you will observe the muster point where we gather in case of emergency. Again, everyone here is expected to set their phones on silent mode so as to avoid distractions as we proceed on this intellectual discourse. Brothers and sisters, we are not envisaging any emergency today, and we did not plan for any drill. But should you have any alert on any emergency, know that it is real. You are expected to be at a very coordinated position. Do not panic, but then walk briskly through the exit doors to the muster point. We also have some medical officers and first aid kits to handle some first aid emergencies. So should you have any issue that will require first aid, kindly reach out to any protocol officer or any official, or just step to the rear entrance door and then find one of them and then make your case known. We will kindly take care of that. Also, if you will want to be involved in any discussion, please kindly put yourself together. Do not be in a panic mood. These are all professionals and we are together. We have all come to learn from each other. So as we proceed, I want to indulge all of us to be very calm, listen with rapt attention. If there's any issue that is not very clear to you, just seek some clarification. We thank you once more for being here. We are grateful that you are here, and your safety is our utmost concern. It is our belief that you will come and you will also live safely, and everything concerning this program will go on safely. Remember, safety is the duty of everyone. You are involved, I'm involved, we are involved. Safety first, safety always. Thank you very much for your rapt attention. God bless you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Engineer Henry Uzoma. Thank you very much for the safety moment, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving with the speed of light. But please, we have to honor our dear nation, Nigeria. May I invite us to rise on our feet as we take the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a room full of patriotic Nigerians. And so on the count of 3, we all, as patriotic Nigerians, will recite the national anthem of our dear country. Are we ready? In 3, 2, 1, go. Yes, thank you very much. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, we may have our seats. I think I can see some patriotic Nigerians who wanted to sing the second stanza. We want to sing the second stanza. All right. I'm happy to tell you that you have 362 days to have done that. We are spending just 3 days in Akwa Ibom. So the days ahead, the months ahead, please continually recite the second stanza of the national anthem, and our dear nation will be blessed for it. If your hands are not too busy, please make welcome the President of the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria, ISPON, High Chief Dr. Ambassador Stephen Udezi, for some important briefings. Please, you cannot stop clapping. You cannot stop clapping. This is the man driving the vision. This is the man leading the charge, saying that at this time it is important for us to chart the course for a safer Nigeria. High Chief Dr. Ambassador Stephen Udezi Awore. Please, you cannot stop clapping. Please, if not for any other reason, just so I can go back home with my balance, please keep clapping. 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 Sosohon eti. Sosohon eti. Thank you very much. Don't stop. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Institute, Dr. High Chief Ambassador Stephen Udezi.
Good morning, my dear professionals. I am still excited to be here this morning because I keep saying, if you're on my status, you'll see that I have said that Akwa Ibom, Uyo State is a goal, and it's actually a goal. So thank you for coming. We had day 1 yesterday. Thank you for staying with us all through till we closed yesterday. This is day 2. I can assure you that yes, there will be more learning this day 2, but very, very seriously, there is something we actually moved from day 1 to day 2. I was thinking we would have done it in day 1. So my sincere apologies for not doing it yesterday. Now, in the course of this struggle, in the course of keeping ISPON unified, and in the course of sustaining this unification, and in the course of actually having this wonderful PDC and AGM, some tragic things actually happened to this institute, and they were very, very touching, very heartbroken. So I don't know, but I do know that God has a way of doing his own things. I am not a preacher man today, but I know that in his own time, everything is good and beautiful. We lost some members of this institute. At least this year, we lost some members of this institute. And I want us to give them that honor. Because these were very dedicated members of the institute. in their various branches, they were hard working and they were always there for us when we called on them. So please, I want us to be upstanding, everybody, as we pay tribute and give respect to those members of this institute that we lost. These are the ones that actually came to our national secretariat. I don't think they are more than that. It's not a good thing to start counting deaths. So we remember today, Mr. Philbert, we lost him. We also remember today, Mrs. Beatrice Wanchuku. We also remember today, our loving daddy, although he didn't die this year, but we celebrated him this year also. That is Elder Captain Briggs. We also remember today, but very, very painful, one of our very iconic figure. I know she will be here, and I know the kind of things she would have said to me in this hall. She has always been a rapporteur in all our conferences. I remember today, Onyeka Chukwu, FI, PhD, that's how we usually call her. These are some few members that we lost. Please, can we just give them a minute's silence so that their souls and the souls of all the faithful departed will continue to rest in peace. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Thank you very much. Please let us be seated. Thank you very much. Now, day 2 is going to be plenty of lecture, plenty of talking, plenty of discussions, plenty of sessions that we have planned as stipulated in our programs. So please, what you owe this institute is to sit down, be very, very attentive, and listen to all that we want to actually do today. Then on behalf of the board of this institute and our loving members, we want to sincerely apologize for everything that transpired yesterday. In the meeting yesterday, I was half there, I was half dozing. The meeting we had last night, because I was actually really tired. But what actually happened? These things are things that we have actually planned for. We have placed everything in proper positioning. The chairman of this planning committee and its members, they have done very good planning. And we planned for 450 persons. The committee in their wisdom said, no, 450 persons, let us just do it a round figure of 500 persons. That's what we planned for this ceremony yesterday. So we planned meal for 500, tickets was for 500, bags for 500, everything 500. Hoping that the remaining ones, we could keep them and use them as souvenirs for the institute. But ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to announce to you that we had over 900 persons in this hall yesterday. And if you plan for 500 and you have 900, what kind of contingency plan do you want to put in place? So today, by His grace, those that didn't get what they were supposed to get yesterday, they will get them today. If you can't get it today, and I'm making bold to say here, on behalf of the planning committee and my deputy president and chairman of the committee, that your branches will get those materials for you. That is, if we still have more persons today, your branch chairman will get the materials and you will get them. It is not easy to fly them from where we have produced them to this place now, but the ones that we kept as overflow will be given to persons this morning outside there. I'm sure some persons have gotten theirs already. So please bear with us. But today will not be like yesterday. We have started registration outside now, and everything is flowing very fluently. And we expect it to flow fluently from now to the end of this ceremony today. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for enjoying everything that we have here for you. And I want to say that God will continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God will continue to bless ISPON, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving with the speed of light. Please make welcome for a recap of what went down yesterday, just as a refresher. You know, we have to look back into the past to be able to chart the course for the future. Make welcome Engineer Henry Uzoma for a recap of yesterday's activities. Please, a round of applause for him as he comes forward. A recap in 3 minutes so we can kickstart the business for the day.
Good morning, distinguished professional colleagues. May I use this opportunity to organizations. First, we have Honorable Abubakar Suleiman Gumi on the panel. He is from the National Assembly. They are the lawmakers. And whatever change that needs to be done begins with policy formulation, then lawmaking and implementation. So he gave us a highlight, and then from his presentations, it's clear to us that the National Assembly is ready for the professionals. So we need to use this opportunity to brainstorm and know what we are going to present to the National Assembly. The National Assembly is safety driven. The National Assembly is also digitally driven. And our team, our members, our associates, our leaders are in the National Assembly. We also had another scintillating section from Dr. Ayo Bakare from NITDA. And he was able to let us know that NITDA has set the ball rolling as far as digitalization is concerned in Nigeria. And for you to talk about AI and digitalization, you must be able to take up certain very essential technological infrastructures, policy frameworks, and then NITDA has played their role, and NITDA is AI and digitally driven. In fact, yesterday I gave him a name that his brain operates like an AI. Then before us here, we had Mrs. Angela Ajiri. Mrs. Angela Ajiri was from the Federal Road Safety Corps. She also gave us her own intellectual input, and then what FRSC is doing to leverage digitalization. It was an eye-opener. And then we also had Mrs. Aroshafe Bukola from the NSITF. She also gave us a wonderful exposition of what NSITF is also doing safety-wise and digital-wise. The one that shocked me, because I am from the academia, I also had on this platform Dr. Rita Ako from the Federal University of Petroleum Resources. So he presented her case in relation to the academia, and from her expositions, the academia is moving to another dimension. I was so shocked. She's a HOD in data science. I never believed Nigerian universities have started running programs of that nature. So it is a testament that digitalization is gaining grounds in Nigeria. We also had, that section was moderated by our own Mrs. Ifoma Obara. Mrs. Ifoma Obara is the chairman, ISPON Abuja branch. We had interactions from different persons, and the one that touched me very well was the honorable member who told us that in as much as we are chasing what the West is presenting to us, that he has noticed that before we could chase, they have gone to another level. Today they are talking about AI. Maybe before we get hold of AI, they will be talking a different thing. That we need to develop something in Africa that the world will start chasing. I think I will end this particular exposition with that African perspective of the honorable. Thank you very much for paying rapt attention.
Thank you very much, Engineer Henry Uzoma. We should be looking at a professorship for him very soon. Thank you very much, sir. Without wasting any more time, ladies and gentlemen, we are moving into the business of the day. Speaking to a topic as salient as empowering a safer workforce, unleashing AI-driven training and development for improved occupational safety and health, we have a careful manufacturing and institutions with a DBA in Entrepreneurship and Management, MSc and BSc in Environment and Safety Management, and professional qualifications like NEBOSH and IOSH. Dr. Dapo Omolade is well equipped to drive safety and sustainability initiatives. He's an alumnus of prestigious institutions like Harvard School of Public Health and London School of Business and Finance. He has held leadership roles, including past chairman of IOSH West Africa, National Publicity Secretary of Octan, and board member of Occupational Safety Society of Nigeria. He is a certified trainer, auditor, coach, and speaker with memberships in various professional bodies. His passion lies in promoting safety and sustainability through consulting, training, and advocacy, aiming to make Nigeria a better place. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the most qualified, if you ask me, to speak on this topic: empowering a safer workforce, unleashing AI-driven training and development for improved occupational safety and health. If your hands are not too busy, please give a rousing welcome to Dr. Dapo Omolade.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to try and stay on the existing protocol. I hope that has been established today. But without not recognizing the leadership of ISPON, I'm very excited to be here today And more importantly, I'm very excited to see that we are getting ISPON to where it should be. Thank you for the honor to make this presentation. And I believe strongly that we'll learn one or two things very quickly. It's such a great honor to also hear from the president today that the number of participants in this event doubled. You know, it was obvious what we saw yesterday during the registration, that something must have gone wrong somewhere. But my dear sister Monica called it a very, positive problem, which is good for us to have this number in our system. Thank you very much. I'll go straight to my presentation and I'll make it in the next 25 minutes and just create some bubbles and give us some opportunity to just have some rethink and have some things to chew. It's not going to be the deepest part of this presentation, but a very serious overview of what we are looking at right now, especially in the safety industry. I hope my slide will show, but if it doesn't, I'll just go ahead until the slide shows. Empowering a safer workforce, unleashing AI-driven training and development for improved occupational safety and health. One of the things that I get to hear about, and all of us here can attest to, is that the clients or our employers or the owners of businesses are always driving one single thing. We want improvement. If there's anything you can hear, oh, I didn't know that Commodore Bassi is here. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. You hear them talk about improvement, improvement, improvement. Everybody talks about that, especially the employers. Everybody wants something that is better than yesterday. And if you also see us, even today, we can say we are better than yesterday. And for us to be able to achieve this in our industry, because our job is a very serious calling, that I always tell people that some of us that get into this industry by mistake, it's very easy for us to want to run away. And it's very interesting, for me to also see my very good former president who championed and chartered my way into this industry in 2000. Seated there, Pastor Evaristo Zamire. And I know in the course of those last few years, it's always been what else can we do to make it better? And for safety professionals, that's our core word, improvement. We want to make sure we are reducing the incident rate in the workplace. One of the tools that we use, sometimes when I teach, I say there's always one solution that is constant when it comes to workplace accident prevention, and that is training. It never goes wrong. It's a constant solution for workplace improvement when it comes to health and safety. And then a lot of safety people also do training. That's what we do, most of us. I mean, it's going to be difficult for you to be a safety professional and at one point or the other, you are not training. You are either doing the simple 1-2 bus talk, you are doing the advocacy, you are doing the awareness, you are doing the technical stuff, but you are always training. And then AI has come to us. When I was preparing just to go through my slide again this morning, a colleague of mine sent me something that happened in Australia yesterday. I don't know how many of us saw that, where Australian government is suing a consultancy firm for producing a report with AI that is totally error. It's in the news. $3.something billion. Australian government is suing a big consultancy firm, I think PwC or so, for releasing a report generated by AI that was false and error and submitted to governors. People will start going to jail for AI usage. Because some data, I've tried the AI in 2 different formats, provided the same information, and they gave me different data. Different data. So I'm not telling myself I'm into the training industry and I do a lot of training. How much can I depend on AI if I know nothing? I want to set up this background first to let you know you need still a very serious level of knowledge and understanding before you start appropriating accurately AI. Otherwise, that PowerPoint will be very beautiful, but it contains complete false that we will not use. We need to ensure that the workplace is safer. So my objective today is to see how we can transform and make our OSH training much better by employing the powers of AI. I was trying to get a quick definition for what AI is, and one definition came to my mind when I was checking it. I'll read that definition quickly. And that has helped me to understand AI better, because I'm still one of those people that are saying, this AI, I don't know exactly what it is. It's a AI, or artificial intelligence, is they are machines that learn, analyze, and help us to make decisions. The simplest definition that I saw. They are machines. Okay, so that tells me they are not human beings. So they will still need me to be able to do the right thing at some point. Of course, if we go by people that started the whole AI stuff and what they are saying, even those that created AI are afraid of the potential of AI. So we don't know where it's taking us to. Says, I believe AI is going to change the world more than anything in the history of humanity, even more than electricity. And from Faye, say, artificial intelligence is not a substitute for human intelligence. It's a tool to amplify human creativity and ingenuity. So we just have a tool in our hands to help us do our training better. We have a tool in our hands to help us train and produce people who are competent. We have a tool in our hand that will help us deliver content that makes the people know what to do. It's not an alternative. We still have to do a whole lot of these learnings before we can begin to fully utilize AI. So why does safety really matters? If you look at the slide, I hope it's showing, you will see that there's so much going on that we need training to correct. Number one, there's over $3 trillion annual global loss as an economic burden that's because the AI that all right, thank you very much. Sorry for the delay. Right, so there's so much within the African context and learnings that need to take place. There's so much gap in people even understanding health and safety and how it should be managed. And then we have an obligation of human rights issues. So health and safety matters, and training to produce competent safety professionals And safe workforce is also very important. How have we migrated in training when it comes to health and safety? So I'm sure you are looking at the screen right now. You'll be telling yourself, where exactly are we? This is the story of, the eggs to the frog that you see. And I'm sure some of us can tell where we are right now in this graph. We have gone past so many traditional methods of training, but it's not out of place that some of us are still right there doing them. How much of impact are you making if you are still using traditional system for training development? Digital shift, current gap, training not role specific or risk sensitive. Somebody has trained you very generically, and then you get to where you have to do the job. You cannot link what you have been taught to what the task is. I'm sure some of us remember those days in the university, especially those that did computer science and all manner of those courses, and you never saw a computer and you graduated. I'm sure I'm not so old, and I know when I was doing my youth service, I spent, that was when I learned how to use computer, and I remember I had to do one hour every 3 days in order to come and learn the computer. By the time I finished the 6 months training, I could only type my name. The email address I'm still using today was created for me by the cyber cafe attendant. Now, that was not long ago. That was 1998, 99. So we know what we're talking about. So if I'm saying we didn't see, I'm just telling you that I didn't see computer in my university when I was studying. I never saw it. So we know what we are saying now, and that's just a few years ago. We are now and do you know something? That still exists in our context in Nigeria. You'll be kidding yourself if you think the whole of Nigeria have seen a computer. There are still places, and you know the sad reality, workers or work are going on in those places. So we have vulnerable workers who are there. So you still have to depend on traditional way of teaching them. Use the chalk, use the board, use anything you can use. This is Nigeria, and we're talking to ourselves. So if you are given a job in that environment as a health and safety professional, and you go with a pad and a tablet, are you going to be effective? The answer is no. So we are not throwing it away, but we are saying there's a movement already taking place. We are now in the AI part of the whole thing, where we can put a training together. A few days ago, I was talking to a colleague of mine. We have this AI software that is paid for. And I said, I want to do a quick discussion on dangerous goods management. Can you please give me a 1-minute video? And that was put into the AI machine. And when he brought it out, it was all English and Japanese. And I remodeled it. I said, make it a Nigerian context. And you will not believe I produced a video in 1 minute that could actually communicate what dangerous goods are. In Nigeria context, even the images are black people. That's where we are right now. So, and if you're in the training industry, you'll be thinking, am I still going to have a job? Because somebody can pay for that software. Somebody can pay for it. And then bring out his own training and you say, I want to come and train you on health and safety at workplace. He say, you don't need to come. I've just developed my content. Beautiful PowerPoint. You can select your color themes. You can tell it what the font characters you want, the kind of images you want to see, and you will have it in 1 minute. But is it all correct? So if you are a novice in rigging and slinging, and AI has produced a slide for you in rigging and slinging, you may just be teaching somebody how to commit suicide. This is the reality. It's beautiful slides, but it's wrong content. And as we all know, it's not about the beauty. Safety, we don't talk about ethics. We talk about functionality. We talk about what works, not the fancifulness of what we're talking about. So, we are where AI needs to be utilized right now, but we must put the context of our own due diligence and hard work. Hard work. Because we have learned to work hard, and I know we may have some Gen Zs here. I love them so much. I have a Gen Z as a child, and sometimes you ask him to do something, and he's querying you why it is so long to do. You know, I can get this done. Write an article for me. That, don't worry, I'll produce that for you in 10 minutes. He knows how to use the AI more than me. They're actually teaching me to use it. So that's the reality that we find ourselves. Okay, good. So, but the reality is, we are in the industry that protects life. If I am developing a content to teach people how to make money, business development, marketing, I might not need to worry too hard. Because when the AI develops it for me, I'm just going to tell you how to tell somebody to give you his money. Simple. But in our industry, every information released out can come with a data that somebody has died. So we cannot afford not to get to the place of knowledge before we begin to appropriate AI. Maybe tomorrow, the level of accuracy of AI. How many of you know that those days, most of us don't use Google again now, but you can use Google to write something and everything you have written is wrong. That was where we used to be. Because I can put something on Google and it's complete false. And I'll make it rank on the first page. Then you download it and you think you have seen the material. So we have moved from there, but AI is still what it is right now, where content can be very dangerous. All right, so AI are machines that help us to do stuff. So in order for us to have AI-driven training and competence development, number one, we need effective application of AI. We must ensure knowledge is acquired, retained, and used. And that knowledge is what we have to challenge ourselves about. Number two, we need to do competency analysis. Basically, identify workers that need support and what they need. We must have real-time feedback. It has to be an immediate insight during practical activity and exercises. There must be what we call adaptive training. We must adjust all the complexity based on progress. That's one of the things I noticed when I tried to use AI to develop a content. It brought out some things to me that I was even reading myself and say, is this safety or something else? And I had to be using dictionary to understand what AI has written for me in a slide. You know, how many of us as trainers, you have tried to present a training before and you are reading the slide, you don't know what it's saying. And you look at it again and say, okay, sorry, let's move to the next stage. There's nothing as embarrassing as that. So you generate it. I've gone through this slide 5 times. I submitted it about a month ago. I still went through it this morning. And you know why I did it? I said, what if I come here, nothing is working, I can speak from my head. That's it. Right. So we need to adjust and make it adaptive. And then we need to personalize risk and role-specific training. That's where the whole world is going to right now. I don't want to teach everybody here the same thing. Can I know what you do and tailor your training to that? What I need you to do is the hazard of your function is different from the hazard of the other person. So let's manage the risk based on that. So 10 days training in the class will not work again very soon. You just need to know who are you, what do you do. One industry that have done this very well, where I also play, is the aviation industry. If you go to the aviation industry, 2 years ago, they started what they call the competence-based training and assessment. I'm an IATA trainer, so I train for them and I understand this. When they brought it out, it was very funny. We say, what is this? Those days, you want to do category 6 training. 4 or 5 days training. You bring everybody. Those who are doing packing, those who are doing signing, those who are carrying. Everybody will sit down for 5 days. We are treating them category 6. Then a cow came up and said, no. If somebody is doing packing, function 7.2, why don't you just train him on 7.2? It's 1 day. If you are the one that is doing declaration of the dangerous goods, you do 7.3, do this. Everybody revolted against it. Even Nigeria, we are still trying to adapt it. That's out of it. But it's role specific, function specific. Don't bring everybody to come and hear jargons. If you put me in a class and you're teaching me what I don't understand, I shut down. Because I'm not going to use it. That's where we are going. Role specific, function specific. This is what AI will help us to do, because you can determine your role and your function and train you to that. I just want to know what is the hazard of the job that you do. Full stop. If I'm able to keep you there, you are safe and you can come back tomorrow. So we've got to the point where we must tailor our path based on the risk and the role. I'm rounding up very shortly. And you can see AI for hazard identification. This is what we all know. Predictive analysis, computer vision, wearables, they are all there. Many of us are wearing wearables, telling you your blood pressure, telling you your age, telling you everything you want to know, or you don't even want to know by yourself. You know, in Yoruba land those days, I used to hear an adage where they say, what you don't know does not kill you. How many of you ever heard that before? That what you don't know does not kill you. Okay, we are all safety people here. So I'm sure you understand that what you don't know kills you faster. So when you wear a wearable now and suddenly you look at your wristwatch and you say your blood pressure is 150/90 or 150/120, what do? You calm down. That's what we are getting right now. So it makes it easy for you to do what? To live another day and prevent accidents. So we have the wearables, Internet of Things, AI dashboards. I saw one recently. I could not believe the dashboard. Just put the data and the AI will help you put the near miss where they should be. Tell you this is not a near miss. Actually tell you it is not. You know how difficult it is for you to identify incidents sometimes. Or when you want to lie about the incident, and you say, no, this cannot be a near miss. Let's consider it as just an observation. No, we don't want it to be an LTI. Can we make it a medical treatment case? And you start telling all the lies. AI will fish you out. Because once you put it there, tell this is a medical treatment case. It's not just an incident. And then you start looking at it. That's what we're talking about. Produce AI dashboard that can tell you your performance within a short time. Designing AI-enabled safety training programs requires us to have many things. Today, there are things called virtual reality. They put you right inside a classroom with the glasses, and it's like you are inside a confined space. You don't even need to go into a confined space to know the hazard and how to respond inside. Virtual reality, augmented reality. These are all the things coming with AI. Gamification. You have scenario-based micro-learning models. You have several things, and I have an example here. Share Nigeria now trains workers using VR to simulate oil spill containment without exposing them to real hazards. I mean, I worked sometime in a place where from the simulator room, we will decide what will happen on the field. And what we basically do is, there are simulators. Increase the pressure here. Let's build this pipe to maybe more than 100,000 barrels of crude per day. Let's see what will happen. And as soon as you do it, you just hear what on your screen. And your master will tell you, if you try that on the field, you are going to have an explosion. Now, this was like 15 years ago that has been going on, that I saw that. So we're not talking about something totally new, but it is training that allows us to handle hazard. What I'm trying to say here is AI will help us to prevent more incidents. That's the truth. But the training must be based on AI characteristics and ethics. Let me round up in the next few minutes. Adoption of AI in OSH training. Oil and gas. You can see the history. Shell is pioneering that. If you go into the construction industry, we have many companies that are employing that. Go to the UK, US, robots are taking over the manufacturing processes, especially when it comes to warehouses and distribution center. They just train you and the robot on what to do, and you know how to handle the robot to do the job for you. Carry the crate, put it in the right place without anybody being exposed to a fall from height. So in the mining and in healthcare, many industries, and we all work in all of this industry. Which one are you looking at, and how do you want to use the AI to train your people to achieve the best? It's a tool. So we have chatterbots, we have digital mentors, we have knowledge hubs, we have personalized nudges. Things that are just on you to tell you, don't get close. When you hear that beep for the first time, this is what it says. Then you know what to do. Now, we must get a data feedback from when we are using AI for training. If we are not tracking the training, if we are not tracking the automation, we will not get the output that we need. So we need a process that allows us to get feedback and get performance. If there is no feedback, you cannot convince anybody that you are doing any performance. And that's what we need to do with what we are getting from AI today. I will not talk about the ethical and legal organization because these are issues that will come up. There are ethical issues about AI right now. Some social advocates are already out now fighting AI because of what AI can do or what AI cannot do. But we leave that until we get to, let's just stay here and be looking at it. And when it comes, we know what to do about it. What is the barriers to our adoption in Nigeria? It's very expensive right now, and we cannot lie about it. It will be cheap later. The SIM I bought for my wife in 2001 when MT Open was 35,000 naira. I still remember it tomorrow. I can't forget because that was like 3 times my salary, and I had to buy it because I was trying to marry. Do you know what it means? So I wasn't married then, but I had to convince her that I can take care of her. But today you get SIM for 100 naira. So in 10 years' time, this thing will be cheap, I can assure you. But we need to start learning to do them right now before then. Otherwise, we will not be able to use them. So it's expensive. We have very difficult internet access, and these things work by network. We have low digital literacy in Nigeria. That's still the truth. Resistance due to fear of job. I'm sure nobody here should be thinking about that right now. Because AI will replace you if you do not know how to use it. So let AI become your servant and your tool. Then it can never replace you. I'm learning it. I've gone to so many courses for AI. I have no choice. Even though I don't want to learn again, I'm tired of reading. But I have to do this one because I'm still a young man, so I don't want to be replaced very soon. So AI will not replace us. But that fear is there, and then we don't have energy in Nigeria. So are we ready in Nigeria or Africa? We need to open up our minds. We need government to come in, and I was very happy to hear from the speaker yesterday on what they are doing. We need to be enabled. We cannot afford it ourselves. Government need to come in. We need to have a lot of adoption going on in the industry for us to survive. As I round up this, I need to say that Nigeria needs an implementation roadmap. And this is where we are. This is part of the awareness. Let's keep telling everybody you will not be replaced. But forward, we move into training, incentives, sector expansion in the energy industry going on now. And then we keep doing continuous improvement. So we need to upskill ourselves, guys. I will round up by saying this. We need to keep learning before we start using AI. Keep learning. If you need to use AI to learn, that's okay. But let's keep learning. I came into an industry that I didn't know is as serious as reading and reading. This industry, you thought it's just wear your hard hat and wear your shoes. If you are ready, you understand that you may be reading as much as the lawyers. I have a lawyer friend that always challenge that I read more than you. I know lawyers read, but I read in order for me to survive. That's what we need. We need to be at the cutting edge of what is going on in safety, and we need to continuously read it. So our call to action, everyone here, academia, workers, government employers, whatever space you belong to, we need to act right now. How? Start learning what AI is in order to make it a tool in your hand. The way you learned to use the laptop, the way you learn to use your mobile phones, the way you learn to use, that's what AI is. Learn it. That way, you will be able to use AI to ensure that training is done. In conclusion, AI will enable a safer, smarter workplace through personalized training and proactive risk management. With the right skills in health and safety management, right policies, right adoption, Africa, and by extension Nigeria, can help to lead this transformation and make our workplaces and our workers safer. AI to the intervention. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dapo Omolade, for that astutely delivered presentation on AI in the workplace. Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know the value you have just gotten, let me tell you this. Beyond being a master of ceremonies, I am a software engineer. And I know the very intricacies of artificial intelligence and technology. I can tell you for free that what AI will help you achieve as a safety professional is much more than you can imagine. If you were not paying attention, there is a respite, because from the organizers, a link will be provided for you to access all presentations after this conference. Please, as we go forward, please pay attention. The next presentation, I tell you, is going to be a game changer. I will speak to that very shortly. But before we head for the next presentation, it is important to note that as every presentation is going on, the QR code for questions and answers will be displayed. Keep populating the Slido platform with your questions and answers. We will take your questions, after every third presentation. So we'll go for 3 presentations, then we'll take your questions, answers will be provided. Beyond that, it's also important to know that the tea break, so some people were asking earlier how the tea break will go. We will announce that very shortly. But please, once again, I have to say this, keep your tags on you at all times. If you are to exit the auditorium for any reason, make sure you have it on you so that you can gain entry back into the auditorium. Our next speaker is coming to do a very important job. I can tell you that because, as I said, I am a software engineer. And I can tell you for free about the rigor, the hard work that goes into writing code to be able to bring a software solution to life. But the next speaker will be speaking about democratizing safety innovations with no-code tools and AI. With no-code tools and AI, this means without even writing code, you can achieve what a software engineer can achieve with safety innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is a renowned HSSE professional with over a decade of experience delivering exceptional results in financial, oil and gas, construction, security, FMCG, and telecommunication sectors. He guides organizations through transformational change, combining HSE expertise with digital transformation and AI-driven solutions. As head of security, health, and safety for Pernod Ricard and digital transformation research at Digital Basi Hub, Samuel pioneers AI integration into security management, risk assessment, and safety operations. He develops intelligent frameworks for real-time incident reporting, predictive risk analysis, and resilient organizational design. He sets new standards for protecting people, assets, and future, positioning technology as a critical enabler of resilience, growth, and sustainability. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome for this presentation on democratizing safety innovations with no-code AI tools and AI, Samuel Udo.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here. Akwa Ibom State is my state, so when I was coming from Lagos down here, I was hoping to come see the beautiful scenery of my town and also welcome you all to the beautiful city of Akwa Ibom and Uyo in particular. So welcome, everyone. The assignment given me this afternoon is quite technical, so I want to let you all understand just right from the onset that a lot of technical jargons will be said, so prepare your mind for that. However, I'll make it as simple as possible, but because the aim of this particular topic, even though it will touch on some of the things that my senior colleague earlier said, it's going to be tailored towards understanding the tools, especially the no-code tools that are needed for us to transition our manual or traditional way of managing health and safety into the digital and innovative system of running health and safety. I'm not going to bore you with this because I don't have much time. I'm told that I have less than 20 minutes to run this presentation, which was designed for about 45 minutes. So let me go straight to the discussion. So how have we been doing things in the past? The previous speaker, Dr. Dapo, has mentioned that traditional approach was us often, especially for the safety experts. You might not see what's on the screen very well, but the traditional approach for them has always been that they are safety experts, so they understand the hazard. Put a good safety professional in a very dangerous situation. He would spot all of the hazard, identify the risks, run all of the analysis, and tell you what is at stake, right? But if we enabled or
distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit us to pause that presentation as we recognize joining us right now the House Committee on Safety Standards and Regulations, led by the chairman, Honorable David Zacharias. Please, a round of applause for the House Committee. I did say yesterday that this conference is a partnership between the Institute of Safety Professionals of Nigeria and the House Committee on Safety Standards and Regulations. Thank you very much for joining us in doing this great work. You're welcome, sirs.
Thank you very much and welcome. Welcome, sir. So like I was saying, the traditional approach has always been safety professionals being spot on their ability to identify hazard and run all of the analysis and put up a beautiful report that tells the story of how workplace can be made safe. But in recent times, with the introduction of AI, we've seen a new level to how risk can be identified in the workplace. AI is revealing new patterns daily and letting us to explore other avenues of how we can collaborate, both human and machine, in understanding the new risks that is brought forward in the workplace. AI is also leading experts in digital transformation to understand that not just having a solution to our safety concern is what we must put our focus on, because some leaders will say that they understand the safety procedures are there. So what they just need to do is enforce compliance. But with the invention of AI and having AI embedded in the way we identify our risks, we are beginning to use AI to identify pattern. The last presenter spoke about how AI will enable you to categorize your report to say this is not a near miss anymore, this is a medical treatment case, or this is a LTI. So AI technology is providing the tools necessary for us to make safety leadership transformation possible. So how do we go? The case for democratizing health and safety management. So before, what we usually look at, the past traditional skills that health and safety professionals often have is their proficiency in the use of Microsoft tools like the Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. So when you are recruiting for a health and safety practitioner, the question to be asking is, what are the tools that you are able to use? And then they'll say, I'm proficient in Microsoft, I'm proficient in Excel, I'm proficient in PowerPoint, and then you would mark that and you tick the box. Again, you ask them, how good are you in health and safety report writing? They'll say, I'm very good. So you tick that box. So you tick the box for the traditional things that they are able to do. Those are past skills, because I was following through when the last presentation was speaking, and he said that in his time, that he never had access to computer. It was, I think, during his NYSC that was able to have access to use of computer. But now, most of the graduates that we are having practicing health and safety already have access to computer. So they know how to use these computer tools. And so they know how to use all of the tools that are made available by Microsoft and the rest. But in the present and the future health and safety professionals that we're trying to build, the skills that the old guys were using is not what these new guys need. What they need now is the ability to use no-code tools that this presentation will be offering, analytical skills as well, and the ability to use this analytical skill to produce information in a style that is easy for everyone in the organization to understand. Automation is also an important skill that is needed for health and safety professionals in this age. How about the use of AI? AI is very, very key because AI helps professionals to be able to analyze, translate, and ensure that they provide an atmosphere within the workplace where they can even start to generate scenarios. So the speaker, Mr. Ayo yesterday was speaking about how you could duplicate the workplace and kind of create a simulated environment where you try to see what could go wrong if certain system. We all know what happened in Lagos some couple of weeks back now. A lot of my calling. What could have been done in ensuring that the emergency plan for that building was properly evaluated? Because it's a regular fire incident. So people would say, oh, this is a 17-story building. If fire happened on the 3rd floor, this is what to do. You evacuate, and the people fire would easily evacuate, while those up would, fire marshal will guide them to the area where the fire is not happening, and then they will evacuate. But this is a new risk altogether. Do you know that with the introduction of a different environment, we could simulate a situation of that nature, and right? So let's go into what AI really means. So in the past, human intelligence was intelligence quotient rather. But with the advent of a new phenomenon called AIQ, that is artificial intelligence quotient. This is the combination of both AI, artificial intelligence, and human intelligence. That is the IQ that we are used to. What the difference will be over time is that with AI, we have the advantage of speed, pattern recognition, and data processing. But with human intelligence, we have critical thinking, ethical consideration when it comes to some of the decisions that we're making, and creativity. Humans are very, very creative. But if you mix that two together, you come to this sweet spot where you have both IQ and AI producing smarter decision making, greater creativity, enhanced productivity. And we will see how we can use this AIQ, this new intelligence system that artificial intelligence has brought about, how we can use it to effectively manage health and safety, or that can transform our health and safety management. When you talk about three steps that I can use to identify really want a solution. And in height, what you want, if you want to really search prompts, because search prompt is a regular answer, the important framework. Frame the question, because what AI will help you to achieve is to help you to brainstorm and find solutions, because you will provide your own input, and it will also help you think and produce this. Identify your safety gaps. So by the time you start to prompt with frame with ideas about what you diverge, because it will provide a whole lot of output for you, several options for you to pick from. Then you use the AI platform to brainstorm. So you ask follow-up questions. You don't just go with the first page, is what the information in the first page is, just go with the first challenge. What they did was to use the tool that I provided earlier, and they built a solution around using AI. So when I speak about AI, there is a lot of platforms that offers you the opportunity to interact with all of these AI models that are available. Example is ChatGPT, Gemini Cloud. So they create all of these forms using these tools, and it's very simple. Just have an email address, you're hosted by Google. You have already, with the provision of the email address, you already have the sheet that is available for you, and that will serve as the database for your all of your data, organizational data. And then you have the app sheet. App sheet helps you with visualization, advanced automation, and analytics. So you are able to run automation analytics as soon as your data is coming in. The app sheet helps you to run automations and provide you with dashboard, interesting dashboard. And then you can use Google Sites to provide you with access to websites. So instead of having to go through the app sheet interface, you can just use your Google Sites to have access to that information. I would have loved to provide you with access to that dashboard, but I don't know what is happening with the screen right now. That is not possible. But let me just round up the presentation by telling you that it is possible, it is very, very possible for us to transition from our analog, traditional way of managing health and safety to the digital way. So the question that we need to ask ourselves is, what part of our organizational workflow do we need to digitize at this point? Let me just quickly take you there and say, what part of your organizational workflow do you want to digitize at this point? Okay. The visualizer, please, if you can take it to the part where we have, go down further. No, down the slide. Go down the slide. Yes, thank you. Go back, please. Yeah, so ask yourself, as we reflect on the final point of this presentation, what part of your organizational or operational workflow do you want to digitize, and what